Robert, well, of all the...
Mrs. Henderson. Boy, this is some coincidence, huh?
When you've been married to a fruitcake like Dwayne as long as I have, you stop believing in coincidence.
I'd met Pearl and Dwayne on the other side of the globe in Syria. He was an Army veteran who suspected he was working for the CIA, but wasn't sure. She was less obviously deranged. What do you make of this stone, Pearl?
Thing's supposed to be a rabbit?
I believe it's a coyote.
Well, it sure is cute.
I was surprised she didn't ask me where she could buy one. Is Dwayne here with you, Mrs. Henderson?
Why, sure, I couldn't leave him home alone. Since Dwayne came back from the war, we couldn't bear to be apart.
So, where is he now?
We ain't speaking.
Why aren't you speaking to Dwayne?
Because he's an old spoil sport sourpuss. I want to visit one of those old pyramid places, but Dwayne says he has to stay in town.
Right, and...
There's no point in going to the pyramid if there's no one around.
Is Dwayne still working for the...
Because he doesn't know it. He's what they call a snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No, this is different. The psychotherapy cured him of that. What he doesn't realize is that now he really does work for them. At least that's the way I understood it.
What brings you to Quaramonte, Pearl?
Anywheres. The market.
You drove 2,000 miles to go shopping?
Shopping is my role in the economy of the great design, George.
What do you make of this statue, Pearl?
Hoo-wee, that's a spitting image of Dwayne's brother Sheridan. A little less body hair, maybe, but it's him all right.
Pearl? Hey, Nico!
I have done just as I have been instructed, Professor. With the mine closed down, there'll be no one around to observe your excavation. Ah, I have visitors.
Just remember what I told you, General. There's really no need to make a martyr out of that man.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Senor. Welcome to Quaramonte.
Thanks. My name's George Stobart from California.
But what is this? An angel come down to earth.
Nicole Collard. Enchanté, mon général.
Pardon me, senorita, but I couldn't help myself.
Look, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
You've come to the right place, senor. Tourist information. General Graciento, at your service.
This is the tourist office? It says police on the sign outside.
It is both, senor. I am a man of many parts.
I can see that, General.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzac?
No. No, I never heard of him.
Are there any ruins around the city?
Of course, senor. Quaramonte has everything.
Wants to visit an historical site.
Ronaldo will only be too pleased to conduct a guided tour when he's dealt with today's paperwork, of course.
Who was the guy you were talking to when we arrived?
Professor Oubier, a visitor, senor, like yourselves.
Did you say Oubier?
Oubier, a French archaeologist.
What's Oubier doing in Quaramonte?
Researching our rich and glorious past, senor. The professor is planning an expedition to some Mayan ruins. He came to see me to get an excavation permit.
I'll be back.
Well, I saw him for only a few minutes, but he frightens me. I got the impression that Pablo was nervous when he was around too. His eyes, They're like a wild animals, like a tiger. That's what scared me most about him. He looked so unpredictable and dangerous.
Hi, I'm George Stobart.
Hello, senor. How can I help you?
Are there any ancient pyramids near Quaramonte?
Si, senor. But it's not very impressive. It's in ruins.
That's perfect. Would you be willing to give a guided tour of the ruins?
I can't. It's paperwork.
So long.
Senor. Leave the child alone.
Do you have a map of Quaramonte?
A map? I'm sorry, senor, but I don't.
What about the one on the wall?
Ah, that is an archaeological survey map, senor. Not suitable for tourists.
I'll be back.
I wasn't going to try investigating the... Did you notice that chart on the police station wall?
Yes, it looked like a map to me, but I couldn't make out the details.
Whatever it was, the general didn't want us to see it. You came on a little strong with the general.
I was merely flattering his ego, Georges. Every man has his Achilles heel.
Maybe, but that guy's weakness isn't in his foot. That man we saw talking to the general was Oubier. Didn't you recognize him?
I never met him, remember? The guy I called in Paris claimed to be Oubier, but he sounded nothing like the man in the police station. Maybe the professor really is innocent.
Nah, it's too much of a coincidence that he's here in Quaramonte. Professor Oubier?
Yes? Who are you?
My name is Stobart, George Stobart.
I thought that face was familiar. Remember me, George? Dwayne Henderson.
Hi, Dwayne. Just a moment. I have a few questions to ask the professor here.
I know him. In fact, if it wasn't for Karzac, I wouldn't be here.
What?
He's financing my expedition.
Tell me about your wife, Professor.
Please,
You shot her, didn't you?
No! I loved Carol. She meant the world to me.
What do you know about my girlfriend?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was invited to your mansion in Paris.
Not by me, she wasn't. I haven't been home for nearly 7 months.
Have you ever employed a Central American butler or servant?
I've never employed any kind of servant, monsieur.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
Where did you get that?
That's my business.
How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale. Are you still working for... you know who?
Who's that, George? You know I'm retired.
Oh, nothing. Forget it. I confused you with somebody else.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Do you think the general was involved with Condor?
Hell no. And if he's a general, I'm a Buddhist. No, that fella's just a mouthpiece for the real power in Quaramonte.
So the general is nothing but a puppet?
He's like a blue rinse fairy. Strictly strings and wood.
Who's pulling the strings?
His mother. Better known as La Presidenta, the dictator.
Does the name Karzac mean anything to you?
Sounds like a comic book villain to me, son.
He's the man behind Condor, and the rat who kidnapped Nico.
You know, the first I was deeply impressed with your naive. I said to Pearl, if we ever had kids, I would have wanted a boy like George. But I underestimated you, son. Yeah? Did she mention that we had a kind of falling out?
Yes, she did.
She'll get over it.
Drive all the way down here?
Hell no. I followed the maps. The way she had been trucking half her life.
What's in the truck, Dwayne?
Oh, just camping equipment. Sleeping bags and tents. Me and Pearl always hang outdoors.
Aren't you worried about camping out in a tropical jungle?
We had a trial run in West Virginia. This'll be a breeze in comparison.
The general?
No, I haven't. Is he a real general?
A lot of medals on his chest. The wrong side of his chest. At least for any army I'd ever seen. I hear you drove all the way to Quaramonte. In a truck.
That's right. You would not believe the state of some of those roads. It's sad to think there's still some places you can't reach in an automobile. In this day and age, you'd think there'd be decent highways just about anywhere folk choose to go.
Catch you later, Pearl.
Hey, Nico!
Hi. We were wondering...
Talking to the lady, Chico.
Hi, my name is Nicole Collard.
Concha Garcia. How can I help you, sister?
President is considering a major investment in Quaramonte. Your advice as the head of an obviously successful concern. I'm after. My assistant, Mr. Stobart, has a few questions he'd like to ask you.
Have you heard of a man named Karzac?
No? Who is he?
He's the reason we came to running a drug ring.
Well, I hope you find him, but I've never heard the name before.
Do you know Professor Ubier?
Yes. I understand he is about to embark on an archaeological expedition. He hired some equipment from me earlier today.
I overheard him talking to the general. I think they're working together.
What? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have hired out the equipment. Now, why would an archaeologist?
Does this stone mean anything to you?
I don't know which of their many gods it represents.
Can you tell me anything about this statue?
It is Tezcatlipoca, the god of death. That fetish would be considered by many to be a bad omen.
Hi. Good afternoon, and welcome to Consolidated Mining. If you are planning to stay in Quaramonte City, may I mining experience, an interactive hands-on tour of one of our deepest mines, with talking tour guides available.
A tour of a mine.
Well, this is... What else did you expect?
A company called Condor Transglobal?
No, senor.
Do you know where I could find Senor Karzac?
No, senor.
Do you recognize
Condor Transglobal.
Did the company operate here in Quaramonte?
Yes, they ran an old container ship, the Mayan Princess.
Do you know who owned Condor Transglobal?
I have no idea.
His wife was a film star?
No, I didn't know he...
She died. Really?
How mysterious.
I heard Ubier himself.
A murderer. Something of a celebrity.
Labano tells me he's been seeing a lot of you.
We meet sometimes for lunch, a drink. After you'd gone back to the States, I was pretty lonely, you know.
Lonely? You must have been desperate. Couldn't you just visit the zoo or something?
Hey, Nico!
Take a look at this label.
Si, senor. Condor Transglobal.
Can you tell me where to find their offices?
No, senor. I never heard of them, and neither did Ronaldo.
The lady at the mining company told us a ship belonging to Condor was here recently.
Conchita Garcia is crazy. Wouldn't have noticed.
Are you sure you never heard?
Yes.
The company is registered here in Quaramonte City.
You are mistaken, senorita.
I'll be back. Oh, it doesn't. There was a forlorn. He wore the same clothes as the band in the marketplace. Hey, wake up! He didn't hear me. He wore the same.
Looking for real jobs. We could earn 10 times as much down the mines. My cousin Ramirez was earning 8 pesos an hour.
Before he lost his legs in the accident.
Tell me about the accident at the mine.
There was an explosion at Teoculcan. 30 miners were buried alive.
They got some of them out, though.
2 of them. And they left half of him behind.
Tell me about the general. You know, the guy in charge around here.
We don't want to talk about him, senor.
How come? No one can hear you. Well, only that old goat.
In Quaramonte, we have a saying. Tell your old goat what you don't want your wife to know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, senor.
Me neither.
Hey, Nico!
Few months ago.
That's correct.
A lot of men killed, weren't there?
A few.
30?
Barely 1% of the working population.
Is it true there's a restriction on music in Quaramonte?
Yes, there is. An emergency measure introduced by Nuestra Senora.
Folk music is a link with the past for some of these people. Take away their musical roots, and what do they got left?
Easy listening.
You think easy listening could replace a musical heritage hundreds of years old?
Why not? It happened in your country.
I'll be back. I had nothing. Did you know that traditional music is illegal in Quaramonte?
Is that so? Seems reasonable to me.
No, really. The leader of the band in the square has been imprisoned just because of the music he played.
I don't know who you've been talking to, but that fella, Miguel, he's an agitator.
What's the real reason the musician was imprisoned?
Handed out subversive literature at the mines. That so-called general was waiting for Miguel when he got back into town. Marched him off to jail at gunpoint on a charge of inciting a riot.
Is Miguel the reason you're here?
Pretty smart, George. I was supposed to make contact with him. By the time I found him, though, I've been trying to figure out a way to get him out since then.
Sounds good to me. Count me in.
Good man. What we need is a detonator.
But no detonator.
Hey, packing trunks is woman's work. I left the packing to Pearl and I can't find a darn thing. Just hope she remembered to bring my denture polish. I'd sure hate to arrive back in the States with tar on my teeth.
Do you know where I could buy a detonator?
Did Dwayne put you up to this by any chance? Oh, I get it. This is to detonate the truckload of explosives, right?
Hey, come on, I was kidding. Did you think I was serious?
I know what you boys are like when you get together and make plans. Dwayne says he could solve all the world's problems if he had enough missiles.
Catch you later, Pearl.
Hey! Stay out of that cupboard.
Do you have any stock?
Sure. They're kept in that cupboard.
I don't suppose you have one spare.
A device like that? No, without a damn good reason.
chart in his office, which he was discussing with Ubier.
That's where they're heading.
Maybe, but I can't get anywhere near it while the general and his sidekick are there. Can you tell me about the accident at the mine?
Accident? It was sabotage.
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotaged?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at that mine for several months. The workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
Where's the site of the mine?
Several remote area known as Teoculcan.
I guess a mining company must use explosives, right?
Not in the accounts and ledger section, to my knowledge.
Hey!
I had nothing else.
Hey, Nico!
I'd asked him all. I'd like to visit your prisoner.
Condemned prisoner
Condemned?
to death. He is to be... shoot him myself.
Amnesty International is going to hear about this. I thought Miguel was arrested for playing the wrong kind of music.
Si, senor, he was.
And that carries the death penalty?
No. You think we're crazy? While being questioned, he confessed to being an anti-government agent.
So long. I'd asked him. Could you distract the general while I took a look at that chart?
You're kidding. Did you see the way he was leering at me?
Yeah, you'd make a great... 5 minutes is all I need.
Well, more hair-brained skin. You do the talking.
My girlfriend has a favor she wants to ask you, General.
For you, my dear, anything.
I've changed my mind.
Oh, no, you haven't. She's embarrassed about asking you for an interview, General.
An interview with me? Fabuloso!
Well, I want to write a story about you.
You hear that, Ronaldo? An exclusive glossy spread about your beloved general.
Si, senor general.
Look after things here. I'm going back to my apartment and I don't want to be disturbed.
I'll get you for this, George Stobart.
Don't worry. If you're gone for more than a couple of hours, I'll come and get you.
A couple of hours?
Would you take my friend to the ruins now the general's gone?
I'd be honored, senor.
Thanks. I'll go get her. I've made the arrangements for your visit to the temple, Pearl.
Oh, that's just great, George. Why don't you come too, honey?
I'd love to, but right now I have to save the world.
Listen, sweetie, I'm looking for an official guide to take me to the old pyramid.
For a lovely lady, I would go to the ends of the earth. For you, I will go as far as the pyramid and back. But what about your husband?
What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Let's go, Beanpole.
As Pearl and Ronaldo set out for the ruined pyramid, I prepared to search the police station. It looked like a geological survey map showing the land to the southeast of Quaramonte City. About 60 miles inland and upstream was an area marked Teoculcan. I'm George Stobart. You're Miguel the musician, aren't you?
Ex-musician, senor. My career is finished.
Going to jail could be the boost your career needed.
Senor, I would rather die than live with this shame.
Why is that noose hanging from the bars?
Ronaldo strung it up for me to hang myself. Don't cry for me, Senor Stobart. When I am dead, the goddess will take my soul to rest in...
Have you heard of a guy called Karzac?
Yes. The old man spoke of him.
The foreigner? Professor Oubier?
That's right. This man Karzac is Oubier's boss.
I couldn't reach the noose. There was nothing I wanted.